viewers. I'm Buzz Off, and this is WORK TV. And a hearty welcome to our distinguished guest, Professor Wisdom, who will share his insight on what he calls a living wage, and renowned politician Ron Manzaro, who will explain his positions on tax relief, blah, 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 less government regulation, blah, 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 the free market, blah, 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 blah. Professor, we've all heard of the minimum wage. Just what is a living wage?
Simply put, it is a wage that allows families to meet their basic needs with only minimal reliance upon public assistance. It is not a poverty wage. The current federal minimum wage does not cover basic needs, and that's why we need a wage based upon real living standards.
Now that sounds just like a fuzzy math, Professor. How can a business owner make an honest living off his employees if he has to worry about how they live? The National Association of Manufacturers will tell you that companies need tax relief, blah, 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 less government regulation, blah, 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 the free market, blah, 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 blah.
In fact, there are plenty of successful business people like my friend Steve who would disagree with you, Ron. Steve manages a farm in Florida and called me up the other day just to say, we don't need relief. Workers are the ones who need relief. We've gotten plenty of tax breaks for business.
That's a lot of fuzzy math. A guy can't work his way up unless he starts at the bottom. The Chamber of Commerce says companies need tax relief, blah, 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 less government regulation, blah, blah, blah. The free market, blah, 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 blah.
A guy can't work his way up unless... What'd he say? Is that true, Professor, or is the chamber just pulling his leg?
Who's pulling whose leg? Permit me to quote Women's Chamber of Commerce CEO Margot Dorfman. Margot says, when businesses don't pay a living wage, all society pays. We pay through poverty and needless disease, disability, and death from inadequate health care. We pay as women struggle to put food on the table. We pay as businesses and communities suffer economic decline.
Professor, I read where the Economic Policy Institute talks about a basic family budget and that there are people in Illinois doing without the basics. Just what is that all about, and why should we care?
The basics amounts to only what a family needs for food, housing, clothing, transportation, just to survive. No savings, no restaurant meals, no funds for emergencies, no extras, period. Families need a living wage because it would at least cover the basics. If employers can't stay in business without keeping their employees in poverty, there's something wrong with their business models. Why should we care? Because we should place a higher value on families than mean-spirited profiteering. A living wage should be the basis of all sustainable economic activity in the United States.
That's just more fuzzy math. What kind of system would we have if it puts people first? The Business Roundtable, or Dick Cheney says, companies need tax relief, blah, blah, blah. Less government regulation, blah, blah, blah. The free market, blah, 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 blah.
You say if government provides a living wage to workers, it interferes with the free market. But you, Ron, prattle on that the government must help businesses through tax relief and deregulation. A living wage spells economic independence for working families because it puts more money into their pockets. They will spend that cash in local businesses.
Well, that about does it, folks. Thank you, Professor, for your thoughtful insight on a living wage. And thank you, Ron Manzaro, for your steadfast adherence to blah, 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 blah. I think you get the picture. And I am Buzz Off from WORK TV saying, I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. Goodbye. Hi, I'm Tim Mills. Our little skit pokes fun at politicians, but seriously, a living wage means a lot to people who have to choose between medical care and groceries because they don't earn enough money to do otherwise. If you want to make change, get involved. Call or write your lawmakers at the municipal, state, or federal level of government and tell them that every worker deserves a living wage. Get active in your community groups that support a living wage. If you live in the Rockford area, you can join the Jobs Campaign. We meet every Monday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the UAW Hall, 112 North 2nd Street in Rockford, Illinois. The smart way to go is also the caring way. Thank you.